Hello everyone, in this video we will learn about intestine. In human body there are two types of intestine. First is small intestine and second is large intestine. So let's discuss about the small intestine. This is the structure of a human digestive system. So this one is stomach. So stomach is releasing the food in small intestine and small intestine releasing its food in large intestine. And the last portion of the large intestine is anus. There are two important glands. First is pancreas and second is liver. The secretion of this liver is stored in a bag-like structure that we call the gallbladder. This appendix is a vestigial organ and in human body it is useless. That means there is no use of appendix in the human body. Now the small intestine is highly coiled and it is about 7.5 meters long. It's longer in herbivores and it is shorter in carnivores because herbivores are eating the cellulose and cellulose take more time to digest as compared to flesh. That is why it is longer in herbivores and it is shorter in carnivores. It really receives secretions from the liver and pancreas. Beside its wall also secretes some juices. That means secretion from liver and pancreas as well as small intestine, they are help in digestion and convert the complex molecule of food into simpler molecules. Now liver is a reddish brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It is the largest gland of your body. I told you it is the largest gland of your body. It secretes bile juice which is collected in a bag-like structure that we called gallbladder. Bile juice plays an important role in digestion of fat. Note that it is only helping in digestion. It is not digesting the fat. The pancreas is a large cream color gland located just below the stomach. The pancreatic juice act on carbohydrate, fat and protein and change them into simpler form. That means whatever the food material contains protein, carbohydrate and fat, it is changed into simpler form by the action of pancreatic juice. Now the partially digested food now reaches to the lower part of the small intestine. That means from the upper portion of the small intestine the food is partially digested and now it is transferred to the lower part of the small intestine and there the intestinal juice complete the digestion. That means whatever is left for the digestion is done by lower part of intestine. After digestion, the carbohydrate broken into simpler sugars such as glucose, fat is converted into fatty acid and glycerol, and protein is converted into amino acid. Now, how absorption is occur in small intestine? So the digested food can now pass into the blood vessel in the wall of small intestine. This process is called the absorption. That means when the digested food is absorbed by the blood vessel, it's called absorption. The inner wall of the small intestine have thousands of finger-like outgrowth, and these finger-like outgrowth are known as villi. So these villi are increasing the surface area of absorption for the digested food. That means just because small intestine is a tube-like structure and it is already 7.5 meters long, but just because of presence of villi in the small intestine, it is increasing the surface area of absorption. Each villi has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface. That means the villi is surrounded or covered by different type of small and fine blood vessels. These surface or these blood vessels are absorbing the digested food material from the intestine. Now the absorbed food substances are transported by blood vessel to different organs of the body where they are used to build complex substances such as protein. So whatever is absorbed by the small intestine, it is transferred into the blood vessel and these blood vessels are transferring it to the different organs of our body where it is used to make different type of useful components which are beneficial for our body. So the use of that absorbed food for making of different type of new substances or for beneficial of the body is known as assimilation. In the cell, glucose break down with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released. That means whenever we are doing the aerobic respiration, the glucose is converted into carbon dioxide and water, and in this process energy is released, and this energy is utilized for different purpose in our body. The food that remains undigested and unabsorbed enter into the large intestine. That means whatever is left now in the lower part of the small intestine, it is transferred into the large intestine. Now let's discuss about the large intestine. So the large intestine is wider and shorter than small intestine. Its name is large intestine, but it is wider. That is why we called it large intestine, but its length is shorter as compared to small intestine. It is about 1.5 meter in length. Its function is to absorb water and some salts from the undigested food material. That means whenever it is transferred from small intestine to the large intestine, it contains lots of water and some important salts. So these water and salts are absorbed in large intestine. Note that in large intestine, no digestion occurs, only absorption occurs. Now the remaining waste passes into the rectum and remains there as a semi-solid feces. That means whenever the absorption occurs, the remaining portion contains less water, and that is why it is converted into semi-solid feces, which is stored in a lower part of the large intestine that we call the rectum. The facial matter is removed through the anus from time to time. That means whenever the rectum is filled, it is removing the waste from the anus, and the removal of waste from our body is known as ejection. Now, what is diarrhea? Sometimes we have experienced the need to pass watery stool frequently. This condition is known as diarrhea. That means sometimes along with the stool, lots of water is loose, and that condition is known as diarrhea. It may be caused by an infection, food poisoning, or indigestion. It is very common in India and particularly among children. That means children are suffering more by this diarrhea. Under severe condition, it can be fatal. That means in some cases or in less in the if it is not severe. So in if it is not severe, then it is not harmful. But whenever it is in severe condition, then it may be fatal. This is because of excessive loss of water and salts from the body. That means when our body is losing lots of water and salt from the body, our body became dehydrated, and that condition is fatal for our body. So diarrhea should not be neglected. Everyone who is suffering from diarrhea, before consulting to the doctor, that person should be given plenty of boiled and cooled water with a pinch of salt and sugar dissolved in it. That means the water which is boiled and cooled, in this water we have to add a pinch of salt and 1 tablespoon of sugar. So the solution that is made, it is known as oral rehydration solution, that we also called ORS. And this ORS is very helpful in diarrhea to maintain the water level in our body. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.